What's happening? What's happening, everybody? I guess we are live in the place to be. You know who I am. I will introduce myself again, like I always do. This is the host with the most, the cigarette smoking, joint toting, bad MF that you know, Lee Lee. I am with the do all be all of this show. Without her, we wouldn't keep it moving. She does all the bells and whistles. Let's give it up for Lindsay.
Hello, everyone.
And then we got the beast, the motherfucker to show up and show out. Excuse me, I cussed already, but we're gonna keep it just like that. She is the cherry on top of this trio. Welcome everybody, Breezy Bree.
I try to be. Hello.
All right, and again, if you lived under a rock, this is the Ish We Talk. Let me pull up our, the regular degular. My phone is slow. No, I've been rocking my phone for like 5 years. I'm one of those. I don't give nothing up.
Oh wow!
A lot of. What kind of phone is it?
It's a Galaxy 10.
Yep, and I knew you was gonna say a Samsung too. That's a lot of men don't. I don't know why.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. This is probably the longest I've had a phone, the one I got now, and I've had it for 3 years.
I got my phone. I think
I had a rebate on the last phone I had. Man, I had it for so long, they doubled my rebate. So I got another check for $79. I was like, damn. Okay, whatever.
I think I got my phone this year. If I didn't get it beginning of this, I did because I got the another one because I switched from Sprint to Verizon, so I got another phone. But yeah, I'm not getting another one for a while. They all do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Veering back to the road though,
Yeah.
you can catch up on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, please give us a 5-star review so we can continue the ish that we talk. 2 minutes been over because we took that left about these bitch ass phones.
That's what we do. That's what we do around these parts. It just is what it is.
You said what, Breezy?
I try not to, but we do got an interesting the topics to. They all biblical, of biblical proportion, almost all of them.
Yeah. It wasn't on purpose. It definitely wasn't on purpose, but it be like that sometimes. And we are past the 2-minute mark. We are definitely past the 2-minute mark. So, so yeah, let's go on ahead and let's start light.
Let's put the white bread down first.
Right. So
before we sauce it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So let me go on ahead and share my screen. Because we have to discuss the end of an era, literally.
Yeah.
So Dodge has announced that this is coming from Ball Alert, but Dodge has announced that we will no longer have the Challenger and the Charger. If you're not aware of what a Challenger looks like, that's a Challenger right there. But yeah, what they are wanting to do is move to electric cars, to have like a whole line of electric cars. So one thing you got to do is get rid of the muscle cars. And yeah, that's what is no longer have transportation because damn near everybody has a Challenger or a Charger. I know I had a Charger for 8 years. It was an awesome car. It came with its issues because it was a Dodge situation because Dodge like to act like they're a for real foreign car. But yeah, I love my Charger. But I did get profiled a lot in the Charger. But yeah, and then my sister, she had 2 Challengers and now she's in a Charger. So but but yeah, but they're awesome cars. They're awesome, great muscle cars. Hate to see them go. But I saw somebody in the comments saying, "What are we gonna drive now?" Which is hilarious to me because for real, what the fuck are we gonna drive now? But does anybody have anything to say about this?
Yeah, I definitely do. People, stop worrying. Like this, you act like the car you got, they gonna come and seize that bitch. You, if you got a Challenger or a Charger, try to keep it in pristine condition because it's gonna be worth some money for real. Because people still gonna buy them. Listen, I am an owner of a vintage fucking vehicle. They do not make my vehicle anymore. Oh no, I'm fucking lying. What they do is they turn it electric and they sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's what they gonna do, y'all. So be prepared to get a Challenger in probably 2028, something like that, all electric. I got a Hummer. They discontinued the Hummer, and then 2018 they came out with a motherfucking electric Hummer, and the bitch is worth $218,000 used.
God,
yeah. So yeah, you niggas talking about that. Y'all not gonna pay what they want for that electric. They saying they going electric, and they telling y'all they discontinuing it because nigga don't sell your soul for this motherfucker.
That's tough. That is tough. What was I gonna say? Bree, did you have any words? Oh, she's on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking. That's what makes it work. Thank you. That's what makes it
food
even
together.
worse.
I feel you. Hey, shit, fuck that shit. I gotta eat. Goddamn it.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, I kind of hate to see them go because uh, I have a younger son who likes all that. I guess the Scat Pack and all that old crap. So we took an interest in that together. But like Lily said, I do think they'll be back. What you said makes complete sense. They just gonna bring them back all electric. They're gonna be all electric muscle cars. Are them considered muscle cars or no?
Yeah, them is muscle.
Yeah,
That's
muscle. Yeah. So it's funny that y'all say that because they are coming out with an electric Charger. And I do have a picture of that. So let me show you guys. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, so okay, it's Hellcat. What's the Scat Pack? That's the Charger. What's the Hellcat?
The Hellcat's a Charger too.
That is a Challenger. It's a Challenger.
This a Challenger?
The Hellcat's a Challenger. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. I was about to say, because it only got 2 doors.
Yeah. But, well, originally the Charger did have 2 doors. They didn't make it 4 doors until they brought it back out in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I want to say they brought it out in 2005 or some shit like that. But yeah, now, and it's also funny that you say that as well because this new Charger does have 2 doors again. So let me bring that. So 1 second, I'm bringing it up right now.
Oh, yeah. That's gonna be interesting. I know the people, like you said, that have the originals that's gonna take just gas. Y'all better keep hold to them, get them maintenance, cause y'all. I feel like y'all could can't they? Won't they be a lot of money soon? Like the
Yeah, the regular ones will be.
yeah
It's funny because they gonna decline at first. They gonna
yeah
decline, you know. And then once the electrics get to booming, the motherfuckers gonna jump up. I can only speak from experience because when I bought my H2, I paid $7,500 for it. Fast forward now that the electric Hummer came out, I've been looking at Hummers that's 03s and 05s. They want 17, 18 racks for them bitches.
Okay, so I stand corrected. The Hellcat is a type of engine. So it can
okay
be in the Challenger and the Charger. I've only seen it in
ah
the Challenger,
me
but
too, cause it'll have a cat on it or something. Ain't it a
yeah, I've only
cat
seen
training or something?
uh, I
Yeah,
don't
some
know.
niggas got that the Hellcat on there.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
can't
be on
afford
the
no. I don't know. I just know. I just know what I had, and what I had wasn't no Hellcat. It wasn't the base model, but it wasn't no Hellcat. But yeah, but that's the new one. Now I'm totally here for the new one. That motherfucker look hard.
Yeah, I'm
Like
absolutely here for it. It does look nice.
It look hard, but that bitch probably ain't gonna go nowhere. But that's the thing, like niggas gonna buy that shit anyway. Cause I remember niggas buying them factory motherfucking Chargers. Them,
yeah,
them motherfuckers wasn't doing shit.
right, right, right. So let me tell you about the issues I had with my charger. Um, I ain't even gonna talk about the issues I had with Dodge, but as far as in the charger, because like when I got the charger, it wasn't too many women in Kansas City with chargers, so I got profiled like ridiculously. It I can count so many times that the police profiled me. I also got profiled by women because women will pull up on me thinking that I'm some dude in a car, and then when they see a female driving, they're like, "Oh." I remember one time when I got my hair braided, and I got my hair braided by this girl over in Kansas City, Kansas, and she was probably like an hour or two into braiding my hair, and she just randomly said, "So is that your car or your boyfriend car?" And I'm like, "My boyfriend car, girl, that's my car. You can run them tags." So yeah,
Next to some now, but it say 352 Hemi or something.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah, I had good and bad with my charger, but but yeah, I love that car. I love my car now. And I tell people now because I don't get profiled in my car now at all. So I tell people now that I went from having a drug dealer car to the drug dealer's first baby mama that moved out of town and did something better with her life car.
Ooh,
You make your driving experience a BET movie.
Right. Right. Like she ain't thinking about her first baby daddy no more. Like she a nurse now. She live in Texas.
Right.
Yeah, she ain't morbid thinking about that nigga no
He got
more.
a good dude. He work a regular warehouse job. She
Right. Right.
live
Like
in
he a good father figure to their son,
right.
you know. So yeah.
help us.
And I
Yeah,
say that, with a straight face, and folks just think I am playing. I'm like, man, y'all don't understand how many times I got profiled in that mug. Like it was ridiculous.
well, You probably got profile because this is city history. Everybody remember the chick with one arm that won all that money from the city. She started buying all her friends fucking charges and shit. And them bitches was doing ratchet shit with their ratchet friends.
Lord, baby, you are stupid.
Everybody remembers this. Like, am I lying?
I don't recall that.
I do. I laughed for a reason. I will say that.
I remember when I got mine, it was probably like two other chicks that had one. It was a chick with an all black one with pink stripes, and it was a chick with a metallic purple. And then
I remember that metallic purple.
and then we had a couple of family members that had them, and then I got mine. So yeah, it wasn't too many of us out here, but I'm telling you, that shit was ridiculous. And then on top of that, I had like tinted windows, so you couldn't really see in the car, so that made it that much worse. So, but yeah,
y'all think the Magnum gonna come back?
I hope not.
You know, I mean, it was.
I had a Magnum. I had a Magnum, and my Magnum was tough. But
yeah, it was real cute for its time, but I don't think it's gonna come back. What about the Monte Carlo? Y'all think they're gonna come back?
Nah, the money ain't gonna come back either.
Y'all think so? What about the Impala? You think? I think the Impala should have never left.
The Impala cold.
Yeah, I don't think it should have never left. But yeah.
Well, rest in peace to the Chargers and the Challengers, the Hellcats and the Scat Packs.
Oh, they'll be back.
I think I said that shit right.
Yeah, you said it right. They'll be back though. Like I'm telling you, give it like 4 years, they're gonna have an all-electric Scat Pack. The motherfucker gonna hit like 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds. That's what they
will say this, they are a terror on the road. They are a terror on the road because they are a terror on the road. These little boys be driving them. They be going all around me in them and shit. I be like, Lord, I'm just at the stop sign. Y'all act like I stopped in the middle of the street.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah, they have car clubs and stuff like that for them. So yeah. But Derek says, to the ish we talk, what's good, my people?
What up, DJ?
It's a Friday.
Another thing about it is that they are going to offer a convertible option on the Charger at the end. Now, anybody that's been in Kansas City know that the first body that they brought back in 2005, there was a yellow one in the city where they chopped the top off. So we've been seeing the convertible Chargers.
Yeah, we have.
So, I didn't like it, but yeah.
It's how it's made up because I didn't like them at first too, and then I when I worked for this company, my boss had a drop top, and he had big tires, and he had 24s on the back and 26s in the front, and the way he had that bitch leaning with the drop, that shit looked like damn near a space age 6.4. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Nah, I take that back, not a 6.4, but like a old 74 Nova. That motherfucker sits real nice.
Your boss had one of these.
Yeah, my boss had one. And I swear he was a chubby ass white boy. It fucked me up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. So so we're gonna have to find another car for the Black community to obsess over.
I'm trying to think what it's gonna be next. I can't.
I think it's a conspiracy because they're getting rid of all the cars that we obsess over.
Well, I ain't say nothing about the track outs.
What?
The Jeep.
What is that?
Girl, the Jeeps that can go real fast. Yeah.
Oh, they gonna do those. Trust me, they coming. Because when I see them remake the Hummer, I see some other shit coming.
Yeah.
I could see a lot of people probably trying to get those because I forgot what my son said they had on there. I think it was 2 something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't
I have a son. He's 15. We talk about this stuff. I know a little something about a little something. So
yeah. Yeah.
I'm
So
telling you,
yeah.
I can't wait. I can't wait till they come out with the electric ones and shit.
Yeah.
Niggas is
I'm
gonna be,
curious.
they be selling their soul for that shit. I swear.
Yeah.
I mean, it
I'm
is
curious to
gonna be
see.
funny to see because a lot of people I had, not a whole lot of people like that, but a couple people I talked to, they had I don't know what the difference is. They had the Charger. I don't know if it was a Hellcat. Somebody said they had a Scat Pack, and it's gonna be funny to see what what the dude's gonna be driving now. That's gonna be funny.
Yeah.
They
Right.
gonna continue to buy old and used fucking Chargers and Challengers. That shit ain't never gonna. It ain't gonna stop. You know how
Right.
this
Because
shit.
they stopped what the Monte Carlo in 08 and they still on the street and they still look good on the street too. So
Man, I was about
Yeah,
to say, man,
some of them do.
we all of the age that remember between the from the years of 92 to damn near maybe 2001, niggas was still buying box Chevys, even if they were like not hood niggas, just a regular nigga with a good paying job. This nigga is buying and souping out a box Chevy. It ain't nothing gonna happen. Niggas is still gonna buy 'em.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Long live
You're right.
Scat Packs and Hellcats, then.
Yeah, long live them. They ain't going nowhere, man. Y'all trying to rest in peace him like King Vine. Nah, long live King Vine. Long live Scat Packs and Hell Packs. That shit ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
That'd be a dope ass rap lyric. Long live Scat Pats and Hellcats.
Yeah, I just said it. Boom.
I
In
said it
it's in a
first,
rap.
then. So give me my little, because I said it first.
Yeah,
Don't do me.
when I make the rap, you're gonna be under the writer's credit.
Bet.
So yeah, so that's that. So moving on to the next topic, which is so Swizz Beats and Timberland they are suing Triller for $28 million behind Verzuz. Now we all know what Verzuz is. And we all know that they sold a portion of it to Triller. They're claiming that they have not received all of their money that was owed to them. Triller did respond. They said that they have received their money. So sounds like this is going to be a fight. Versus as we know it currently is not going to be anything. Like we're not going to be anticipating any verses no time soon if they're going through this litigation. So, what are you guys' thoughts? Who wants to speak first?
First.
Okay.
Hopefully it gets resolved, because it's hopefully it's just a miscommunication of things, because Versus was good. It was something that, people be like, what if such and such went up against such and such, and they kind of made it happen,
Mm-hmm.
So both parties will be losing money, so that'll be done.
Yeah. I think that both parties already was losing money, to be honest. They didn't
Well, yeah, but
anticipate.
they'll be losing more if it stops, because
Right,
it ain't
right.
like they not gonna, if somebody else will pick it up and make it something else. So
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing is that you can't stop nobody from like performing with another person and going back and forth. And
right,
you're just not gonna call it versus. You know what I'm saying?
it'll be against, up against,
Right.
Yeah.
something. Shit.
Right. Or you won't even bill it like that. You know what I'm saying? Just we gonna go back and forth. Cause like I know when years ago when I went to the I forgot the name of the concert, but it was Chris Brown and Trey Songz and Tyga. And Trey Songz and Chris Brown, they went back and forth song for song for a segment of the show.
Mm.
So that, I mean, you could say that that was a versus. It was dope
Yeah.
how they did it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a full-fledged performance of each song. They just went back and forth. But but yeah, they can do something like that and just not call it versus.
Yeah, but it ain't
So
gonna be the same.
it ain't gonna be the same at all. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
It
right.
ain't
It
gonna
was
do give us the same feel.
Right. And my thing about the whole situation with Swizz Beats Timberland and Triller is this is, to me, it sounds like a situation where Swizz Beats and Timberland did not have their I's dotted and their T's crossed, because from what I know about it, you know, they sold Verzuz to them, and then with the money they got equity in the app. And I think the thing is, when it went to marketing and pushed the shares, they thought they were supposed to get a certain amount of money, and it wasn't doing that because the shares ain't really pushing like they supposed to push.
yeah.
And I think
Right.
they're having a problem with that. But that's when you, like I said, your I's ain't dotted and your T's ain't crossed, because that should have been, I get guaranteed money regardless.
Yeah. 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 But
It's
yeah.
definitely a fumble in between them, you know.
It's a lot. It's a lot that went
It's
into that.
definitely a fumble.
For one, they started charging, so that took the viewership down. Another one was that it was people that people weren't necessarily into, that took the viewership down as well. Um, Outside opened back up, that took the viewership down.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, so I mean, there's a lot of things that um that led us to them not being as lucrative as they were at a point. But at a point, they weren't getting paid, and they was it was all like promotion, you know,
Mm-hmm.
to go up and whatnot. But once it started turning into a full production, they start having audiences and stuff like that, they start getting paid. So I feel like initially it was a good idea, because yeah, you were talking about the equity, and all of the artists up until that point and going forward were all going to make money off of the Triller deal.
Mm-hmm.
So um it was it was a great vision. It's just there's a lot of factors into it that's not making it as successful as it had the potential, or had once was and had the potential to be.
Exactly.
But yeah, but if it maybe it is like some guaranteed money that uh Swizz and Tim are like, nah, y'all owe us. I mean, I don't know. Or will if they end up going to court, we'll find out the ins and outs then. But yeah.
Yeah, because I heard they were already in the hole and they were supposed to give them $1 million a month, and they never did that. But
Mm.
again, like I said, um, that's that has a lot to do with paperwork and lawyers, because uh, certain things of that nature should be settled. Like when you're in business, you're supposed to be in bed with business. Like,
Yeah.
don't just let somebody do it and you not worry about it, because at the end of the day, that's your livelihood. That's your money. You're paying these people from this money that is yours to handle that. So you need to know what these people talking about.
Yeah. Right. 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 So Derek says Versus ain't been the same since they went to Triller. We gotta learn to stop putting a price on our culture and keep our ideas and creations. And
I agree.
then Glenn says R&B battle royale. So I
That'll
guess
be the
that's what.
wackest shit that ever been on anywhere. If I ever seen that shit, so I would turn it off immediately.
I mean, that's kind of how the last verses went, and
Yeah,
it
but
was
you
one
don't
of
want to say
the.
it's an R&B battle royale.
I mean, maybe he's just thinking off the top of his head. He
Yeah,
can.
but
I
no.
mean, we can come to the writers' room and brainstorm for a better name. But
You
but
get the dude
no.
to do all the boxing matches to get out there and announce the motherfuckers and shit. Like, nah, we not doing that, man.
He has done a couple of verses, so I don't know. I'm just happy that Bone was able to do a verses, so everybody else is whatever for me. But
Oh my
God. Glenn says they had to fight at the end to the death. That was funny.
Hey man, I would never want to lose Neo that way.
Yeah, because he's gonna lose.
Like, yeah, he's gonna win a versus. He would totally win the versus, but that nigga would lose in the death battle. He's not a fighter.
He might not. Yeah. He might have to move.
He ain't got the moves.
And you put him up against a motherfucker like Trey Songz that beat up security and bitches.
Oh goodness gracious!
It's gonna be a bad situation.
He said Cisco versus Neo.
That might be a good fight. That might be a good fight.
But they're not gonna mess up their face.
But yeah, but Cisco got an advantage because that nigga can walk on bitches. We seen him do it. Like he can just jump into the crowd and Neo be fucked up.
Right. And plus y'all don't want him to unleash the dragon.
Yeah.
Nigga,
you hear me say
so yeah.
Shout out to Cisco, man. Hey, listen. If anybody knows my past, I was a full stand for Cisco. I don't even have to make the funk about that shit. I'm a grown ass man now.
Yo, we're not even gonna play like
about album. You really must have been a stan.
Nigga, you better ask somebody about me. I fuck with that. I fuck with Cisco heavy.
We're not gonna act like Cisco's first album wasn't the shit. That motherfucker went hard. I just played it like a couple months ago and was singing my heart out.
Listen, I was short, my voice was raspy, and I could sing. Oh man, listen, he was my hero.
Yeah.
Like real shit.
Yeah, man, that first album, well, he unleashed the dragon shit for real. We need to go play song for song. Would y'all want to go back to the old format?
To what?
I mean, you could go back to the old format, like if you because it wouldn't change anything. Like the performance, yes, the performance it's been great, and it been, you know what I'm saying, and it was getting views, but now it gets the same views as when the motherfuckers was just doing song for song. Like
I feel like they was
everybody's getting E40 views.
It seemed like they was getting more when it was.
I don't know. I don't know. I hope they figure it out because it's gonna be jacked up. A lot of people enjoyed those things.
Yeah. Derek also says after the L Omarion took, some artists may not want to do a versus no more.
Not if they want to still be relevant. That's the thing.
Yeah, because he's taking a major L. Like he got taken off of the Millennial Tour and replaced with Mario. So he's definitely taking a big L. And the Millennium Tour was like based around him.
Right. So I mean, if you can sing, you can go to verses, but if you can't, I suggest you stay your ass at home.
Right.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're an artist, because you're an artist and you don't got pipes, you need not to ever do a verses. Like not when you want your career to be relevant, Now, when you feel like you're not in the game anymore, then yeah, you can do a versus.
You get to that point where you just don't give a damn because we don't give a fuck, then you can do a versus.
Exactly. You can't be relevant and be like, I'm gonna do a verse against somebody who you know as a competitor, you know this nigga's better than you. Like, what was you said? I'm gonna just win with fundamentals. Like, are you kidding me? This nigga is jumping off of his fucking hips, like directly down your throat, my nigga. Like, what are you doing?
Right. And and you got to realize that the way that it's set up now, it's not just about hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's about who can grab the crowd. Because like say for instance, when we're talking about the Omarion versus Mario,
That whole
that live
travesty
performance, but that live performance, it damn near every song or every round Mario won. But when we sat here and we went through song for song, he didn't win like how he won that night.
Exactly.
Mario still won, but he didn't win like how he won when they were live. So if we go back to the song for song format, it's gonna look more like when we went through the songs on the show than a live show. Because you can have B-sides, but if you sing the fuck out of a B-side song compared to somebody doing a 1-2 step on a song that was a single, you're gonna win that round. You know what I mean? Because that's just how it's turned. It's just what it's turned into now. Derek says, if it was the old format, O would still be able to fall under the radar. Yes, that's basically what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, but that's a debate in itself because of what it's turned into and what it was initially, you know. So, because folks is winning with B-sides, like folks, they know how to control the crowd. They know what their crowd wanted. Like Mario's album came out 20 years ago. He's been singing a lot of them songs off that first album for 20 years. So he knew that he could do a lot of them songs off that album. Because there was a lot of people that was in the comments that didn't know some of them songs. And in the same breath, me, along with a lot of people in the comments, was like, I'm just here for the first album. You know what I'm saying? So, and he sung the fuck out of that first album live and ate Omarion's ass up. So, yeah.
All right. But yeah. So, but let's get on topic because none of that shit is telling us why these niggas are suing each other.
Well, yeah. Yeah, we've already discussed why they suing each other.
Yeah, we
It's money.
it. Like, so like
it's money that they think they're owed, and versus as we know it is no longer. But speaking of versus as we know it being no longer, because of this lawsuit, excuse me, JD and Diddy finally came to an agreement to go on ahead and battle one another. We know they've been going back and forth about this for a long time. JD been calling out Diddy, and Diddy has been like, no, you ain't got the hits, you ain't got the hits, but he finally agreed to it. But because of the litigation that's about to happen between Triller and Verzuz, or Triller, Swizz Beats, and Timberland, it's not going to be a Verzuz event. They're going to have the event in Atlanta, and they haven't set the time or the date yet, but they have agreed to it. So, are we excited?
Honest answer. I'm gonna go honest answer first. Honest answer. I just feel like, man, if this ain't the quickest money grab, this is what you do. You see they going through this shit, and then you like, okay, boom. So here's a chance for me to do this and just scoop in all the money from it. Like this is this is blood in the water 1-on-1. Like, yeah, of course they agree. Because if they all the money goes to them, of course they agree to do this and do it like Verzuz, but not Verzuz. Yeah, of course. Like, you know, as much as Puff be talking that free love and pay this and do this to these artists, you know, he's still a money grabber at the end of the day. So,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
I can't knock him for that.
you
Right.
can't.
I wouldn't.
But this is definitely just an opportunist move.
I think he would have done it under Verzuz had the situation not happened. Because I mean, Ciroc was a sponsor, so I think he would have done it under Verzuz. But it is kind of opportunist that now all of a sudden with all this stuff going on, now you want to be like, okay, I'm gonna do it.
Right.
Like, what changed your mind now?
Them niggas going through that bullshit. And so now I can do it and sponsor it and get all the money.
Yeah. It is looking opportunistic. So
Get in your bag, stay in your bag.
Yeah. But opportunistic or not, I'm excited. You know, people be sleeping on JD. People be sleeping on JD, but one JD
got hit, but it's gonna be production. It's gonna be so much Mariah Carey being sung.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna.
Her albums is this, and man, he be executive producer.
Right, exactly. I know that, and I know Mariah Carey is going to get played, but I don't think he's going to kill us with Mariah Carey. Is my point. He got too much stuff. He got to get in his bag with TLC. He got to get in his bag with Criss Cross. He got to get in his bag with Bow Wow. He got to get in his bag with Usher. He got too much, and then like the Brat, and then his own shit. So he got too much to pull from to where he's not going to just sit on the Mariah Carey records.
I hope not. I know she's gonna be a big block of his shit though.
I don't even think that. I think he's gonna hit. Of course he's going to hit. What's that song where she got married in the video?
The Nick Cannon.
No. It was on Emancipation of Mimi.
We Belong Together. Yes,
that one. He's definitely gonna play that.
That's definitely getting played.
Yeah, but then in the same breath, Diddy can go with his Mariah Carey records because he had one of her biggest records. He had Honey. You know what I'm saying? Even though we know for real, Stevie J produced that album, but that was the Diddy remix. Or not produce the album, but produce that song. But that was the Diddy remix. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't like Diddy ain't got no Mariah Carey records. And then same thing with Usher, even though Usher's sound is JD, but Diddy had Usher first. Diddy had Usher on that first album. So the only thing he can play off that first album is Think of You, but still Think of You was a hit. You know what I'm saying? So there's certain stuff that is going to make it a very interesting battle when it happens.
I think it's going to be JD's going to definitely get in his bag with everything he has, and he has a lot of kid artists. But I think you know
a lot of what artists?
A lot of kid artists, and I think that's what's going to hurt him because you got to think. Even though JD got way more hits than Puff, and I can honestly say that he got way more hits. Puff got two iconic legends in the rap game that was signed to him that passed, Craig Mack and Notorious Big.
Now Diddy got, but I kind of don't think he will kill us with the Biggie records though, because he got married
again, and he got a dude that died in his pinnacle. He's like the best B-side artist we ever heard, which was Black Rob. Like he has a lot of shit that for the audience that they're reaching for, it's gonna they gonna knock more to, because like the audience they reaching for is gonna knock way more to Whoa than they is to fucking Bounce With Me by Bow Wow.
I sure am. Whoa, my niggas like Dro, like.
And then we gotta also gotta think about it too. They are doing this in Atlanta. That's understood. You know what I'm saying? That was actually a thing that was said, that they're doing it in Atlanta. So the fact that they doing it in Atlanta, JD got home field advantage.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean,
you act like it ain't New York niggas down in Atlanta. You act like it ain't niggas that's in Atlanta that didn't listen to nothing but trap music. They're going to. I hate to say it, because everybody knows everybody. When you think about it, because JD do got more hits, you think it's a landslide. But if Puffy ain't gonna sign up to something that he know he ain't got a dog in a fight with.
Man, it's going to be a great fight. It's definitely going to be a great fight, because Diddy can get in his own bag. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, in several rounds, just getting in his own bag. And then, like, when you think about it, he got everybody on Bad Boy was a artist, a great artist. You know what I'm saying? Like from Mace to 112 to Faith to Total. You know what I'm saying? But then
they all charted.
Yeah, but then in the same breath, you know, JD got some amazing artists on So Def. I mean, I've already named several, but also Escape now. Like, come on. This is gonna be one hell of a fight, and it's gonna be dope as hell. And
what I'm saying though is though he can do all that, and JD can play a kid song that we like, hell yeah, that was a bop. And then Puff can play a fucking Diddy Kane song that everybody know more. Like the Push More said.
But I'm gonna tell you this now though. I am going to say this right now on this live. I don't think Diddy has anything that can go up against Crisscross Jump. Nothing. So yes, we're talking about the kid stuff, but Crisscross Jump, he don't have nothing that can go up against that. And you can throw every Biggie album in there. He ain't got nothing that can go up against Jump. Period.
Yeah, he
doesn't. I give you that. But you know what a stump jump in the face?
What?
Hey, yo, the sun don't shine forever. So as long as it's here, then we might as well shine forever. Better now than never. Business before pleasure. P. Diddy and the fam, who you know do it better. Yeah, right. No matter what, we airtight. He'll kill that.
No, he won't.
Absolutely
yeah, he will.
Not Jump.
And I love that song.
I love that song. I don't know the name of it, but I always loved it, and I like the video.
Victory. And it was on. Yeah, and it was on Diddy's first album, and it started off the album.
And he throw Buster out there, and he throw Buster out there to the
hook. Yeah.
Destroy Jump.
Come on now. Yeah, Jump. We're talking about Jump. Absolutely.
We all gonna love. We gonna be like, hell yeah, Jump. Miggity, we gonna do all that. And then once that beat drop, boom.
Nope.
What the fuck we gonna do now? We all fucked up now. What the fuck we gonna do now? That shit gonna kill it, man.
I don't know about that, Leroy.
Absolutely not. So let's see. Derek says the Jay-Z songs JD got a lot more hits. He also said, and the many unknown artists he worked with. True. Then Glenn says, Diddy with I Need a Girl remix. Yeah, that's getting played. And then Derek says, I think that we will be surprised. Hits he gonna pull that you didn't know he produced. JD, that is. Yeah, I agree with that one too. But then we also got to think about this. You know, Diddy had his hand in a lot of that shit that came out of Uptown before he got fired.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, boy, you took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah, so he got Jodeci.
Yeah. Diddy gonna win just because of Jodeci.
I don't think Diddy gonna win just because of Jodeci. I honestly
don't
know.
Not because of Jodeci, but Jodeci is a strong. Jodeci and Mary J. Blige are a strong.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is like, yeah, JD gonna put up a fight, and it's gonna be a great fight. But I mean,
you know,
I think Puff pulls that out.
Yeah. But you know, JD before he had So Def, he was working at Rough House Columbia. So there's a lot because like actually Chris Cross was actually not signed to So Def initially. They were signed to Columbia Rough House. So like this shit is early 90s. And then on top of that, they weren't that popular here in the Midwest, but they were huge in the South. The So Def Bass All-Star Series. Like that set a tone. Like that set the staple. That was the background music for Freaknik. You know what I'm saying?
Well, like my
that,
boo and all that.
Yeah, that's part of it. But he had volumes to that. Like he was putting that shit out like every year. So I think it's gonna be a great fight. I can't wait for them to actually do it. But yeah. So moving on. All right. So yeah. Geez. So that was the fun part of the evening.
It was a hell of a ride, y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, godly. All right. So let's start with the real.
Go on, say it, Lindsay. Go on, say it. We're about
to
get into these fucked up ass pastors.
Yeah, we are. The pastors they just lost their mind this week. They really did. Let's go on ahead and talk about this one pastor. He's Nigerian born, and he has a church in the UK that he thought it was appropriate to stop he stopped his choir in the middle of their song to tell them to stop singing it because it was boring them. Yeah. So just give me a moment. Trying to pull it up now.
While she's pulling it up, I'm gonna say this. The views and the opinions of me have nothing to do with the Ish We Talk podcast. It has nothing to do with Lindsay or Bree. These are strictly my opinions, and the words that come out of my mouth does not reflect anybody but me.
Oh boy, it's gonna get real.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with these ass niggas.
Yeah, these yeah. D Hero says, well, y'all had me thinking I had my days wrong, the Ish on a Friday night. Yeah, sometimes we switch it up a little bit.
Come on, man. We like a tie piece. Come on, man. When we come in, we're gonna give you that good, man. You just gotta wait for it. You'll never know when it's coming.
Yeah. And then Derek says that Verzuz will be just a great celebration of hits, taking it back to what Verzuz was about. I agree. I definitely agree.
Totally agree.
Let me pull it. All right. So let's see where it's at. Okay. All right. It's so much that I might be having an issue because that's how life
is. Fuck it.
Okay, here we go.
We'll word for word this shit.
Seated, please. Livingstone is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man. That's long. So, well, thanks, guys. Okay, when they are ready, thank you, guys. Be seated, please. Livingstone is amazing, but that song was boring me to death, so I had to come up, man. That's long.
All right, y'all. Okay, so what are your thoughts on the clip I just showed?
I'm gonna go first because I ain't say nothing too long. Out of all, I gotta say this. Out of all the pastors that cut up this week, he's the mildest. I
Yeah.
think heritage, which at a certain age for them, they get rude, and I think he just was doing that. I don't think that it was like that makes me a bad pastor. He shouldn't have said that. It was mean. It was rude.
Yeah.
Sure.
You said what?
Y'all didn't hear me?
Nuh-uh.
Well,
No, we didn't hear the last part.
I was just saying how they kind of seem to be, once they get a certain age, they get a little rude. So I think he probably really was legit like, this song, I don't like it, and y'all can be quiet. It was rude. He shouldn't have said that. They was praising at the same time, but he could have definitely been like, don't sing that no more at the next choir rehearsal. But
yeah,
he's the mild sauce of all the pastors. So
Right.
Well, actually, they pulled his resume. He's actually not the mildest. I think he's
damn.
I think he's getting indicted on some fraud stuff.
He's
Don't
the
quote
mildest.
me.
He's the mildest to the extra fuckery shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he actually is doing some fuckery shit.
Yeah. Right.
Dang.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he was.
Yeah, it's getting real. My bad, Lindsay. I took you off your stroke. What was you about to say?
I was just basically saying what I said. He's not the mildest. I mean, that clip was the mildest, but he might be the worst of them all, to be honest.
Right. I ain't gonna. He ain't the worst of them all. He ain't. But I will say this. A pastor and anybody's flock should I don't give a damn if you think the song is boring or not. You know how to get past a song. Like, I've seen it. I've been in churches and I've seen pastors get past a song that they don't like. Like, as soon as that little breakdown come in, that's when they put their mic on and they be like, amen, 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 amen. How's everybody doing in the audience? Everybody fine? Yeah, hey, preach, quiet man. Let it down. Let turn it down a little bit. Let the drum ride out. Yeah, amen. Everybody say amen. Amen. All right. Yeah, that was a beautiful song by our choir. Give it up for our choir. But yes, what I want to talk about is blasphemy and thoughts today. Like, it's a way you can get past this.
Exactly. Like,
he was rude for doing it, but
yeah, he didn't have to do that and embarrass like
that. That was funny though. I'm sorry. They faces, the people.
Right, and which I'm pretty sure this ain't the first time he's been blunt, so they probably used to it at this point.
You can tell they look like shit.
Yeah, like, well, but yeah, he didn't have to do all that. He could have just said thank. He could have just stopped it. You know what I'm saying? He didn't have to be like, y'all boring me to death. Like,
it sounds worse
very well been born
with an accent too.
Right. So, and I mean, the song could have very well been boring. He could have 1000% been right. Because I mean, sometimes them choirs are hit and miss. So, but there's just a way about going about it. You know, you're supposed to lead with love. Telling somebody you boring them to death is not leading with love. So,
Man,
yeah.
was he the senior pastor? Because he went hard. That was funny.
Yeah, he's a senior. Yep, he's the senior.
Now, the fuck bag into this shit, Lindsay, is he just got shut down for fraud.
Yeah, that's what blew it. If he would have just told them to shut up, y'all can't sing, y'all boring. He had a slip up. Church, can you forgive me? Yes. But you getting charged with fraud? Come on, my G.
Yeah, this nigga a whole ass lot. He's up there just he's a hustler, man. Some of these pastors are scammers. They're the original scammers.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
There's no argument there. It's sad.
He's definitely a scammer. I think he's under investigation for fraud for $1.9 million.
Yeah, it's up. Yeah, it's up there.
We done fucked up the church's money.
Right. Why you telling you around this motherfucker talking about it was boring me to death.
Man, dude, I'm sorry. I would have cracked up. Y'all would have heard me in the background, like laughing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That is funny. Even if I'd have been in the choir, I would have started laughing just because you stopped this in mid prayer.
Right. 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 Like, damn, that's
I couldn't have been in the choir because I would have laughed, but it would have been a pissed off laugh. I'd have been like, nigga, you going to hell. Like, and they'd have walked me off the stage.
Right. I would have been mad. I'm not singing no more. Screw it.
I would have kept going. It would have been just me. I'd have been laughing, trying to keep going to where he would have been like, please shut up. Because I want to see you get super ignorant now.
Why are you trying to talk? You in the back talking about, and that's just the Lord.
Yep, I'm in the back.
And that is like, yes, brothers and sisters, and that is the Lord, bitch ass nigga. Say something to me.
Just because you did. Once you showed me you that ignorant in front of the congregation, now everybody got to see it. So I'm gonna make you keep going.
Right. Right.
I know I'm petty.
That's the rule. That's the rule.
You can't be petty in Jesus' house.
Oh, once he did it,
I'll bet her off at that point.
You blew it, sir. There's no more respect. I'm leaving after today. That's why I'm gonna be petty. I'm done. I want my church pin back. Y'all can have back your robe, all that.
Oh yeah, this is the last time I'm coming to this church. You can take these funky ass white gloves and stuff them up your fucking nasty ass. Like, I'm done.
All of that. Now who gonna lead praise and worship now, bitch? Like, all that.
I wouldn't call him all that, but I will definitely leave.
Yeah, I ain't gonna call him all that because I'm in the church. But since I'm not in the church, I'm just saying verbatim. I grew up with Jehovah's Witness, so shit.
Well, I went to a special church. My church took smoke breaks, so yeah.
Hold on, time out. What?
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Wait a minute. So they took smoke breaks at your church?
Yeah. Now the preacher didn't get on the mic and be like, all right, y'all, it's a smoke break now. He didn't do that. But there was a handful of us that we knew at a certain point in the service, it was a smoke break. And it was so funny because one time I took D Harold with me to my church, right? And I told him, I gave him the pep talk prior to, like, my church ain't normal. They take smoke breaks. And I told him it was like an unsaid thing. It was just like a handful of us that just get up at a certain point. And so he was just like, okay. So we there, right? And the handful of people that get up for the smoke break got up at the time of the smoke break. And one of my friends, when she walked past us, she said, smoke break. And that was the first time somebody actually verbalized it. So when she did that, he was like, man.
Yeah, that's fuck nah.
So who's
What?
going on this break? Is it anybody in the pastor thing? You know, like they
No,
going? Is
nobody
it?
off the pulpit. Nobody would leave the pulpit for a smoke break. It was maybe like one person that would leave the choir stand, but you didn't know if they were going to the restroom or not. And then my church had a balcony that was on three sides on three of the walls. So the one side that was the closest to the pulpit, the way the pews was upstairs was that it was one pew, and then the next set was 2, 3, so forth and so on. So the people that sat at that first pulpit, those were the people that got up for the smoke break normally. So that whole row would leave every time it was time for the smoke break. Then it would be like the drummer, sometimes would go. And then it'll just be a handful of us just standing outside in front of the main door. And the people that smoked. That was our smoke break. I wasn't a smoker, so if I went out there, I would just be out there. Sometimes like there was a BP across the street, so sometimes I go across the street and get something at that time. But yeah, my church had smoke breaks.
And see, my church, I went to a church over in Kansas that had, uh, they had a kitchen in the back, so they back there. It smelled like chicken when you go to the bathroom. They cooking, they selling dinners. The pastor sweating. It's a lot of that noise getting made, and yeah. But he got a couple. Lord, we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, it wasn't no smoke breaks. But he wasn't. He had some outside kids. So
Yeah, that's to be expected.
yeah.
He was smoking that puss.
Oh
Right.
Lord, you didn't have to say that.
Yeah, I already said. I already put my disclaimer out.
Yeah.
It's funny though. He was, I guess.
He was
Man.
smoking bitches.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah, he was out there
Lord.
smoking that puss, man. Like, yeah, just one of them. I, man, these churches, man, it's some weird shit.
Get to the next Reverend Do Wrong.
Reverend Leon Lonnie Love.
Man, I
So,
gotta go down to Mama's church.
right. Right. So, next up, uh, yeah. So, let me see how we gonna do this. All right, let's go ahead and play this video of the pastor that has a problem with Beyonce. We all know that Beyonce dropped an album a couple weeks ago called Renaissance. One of the songs on Renaissance is called Church Girl. It's a great song. I encourage you to listen to it if you have not already. This particular pastor decided that he was going to have a sermon and ridicule Beyonce and that song. So I'm going to share my screen and play the clip.
We're having technical issues, people. We'll be right back after these quick messages. Hey, have you ever felt lonely at night? Have you ever felt like you couldn't talk to your significant other? Well, here's a chat line for all you niggas that want to cheat but don't want to cheat, because y'all kind of pussified. Call 1-800, this ain't really your bitch. When you call 1-800, this ain't really your bitch, you will get a hold of a couple of bitches that really don't care about you, but it make you feel good for the evening. Let's see.
I cannot. All right, so I'm just gonna play it off my phone since it doesn't want to play here. So here we go.
God loves her, but she needs to be born again. And she's wrong. She needs prayer. Jesus loves her. Jesus died for her. God loves her, but she needs to be born again. And she's wrong. And then of all groups, why jump on the church? See, I wouldn't say that. Now, the people who question me, I wonder why did Beyoncé say that? The question don't start with me. Don't start with me. I'm responding to what was said. Had it been named World Girl, Club Girl, Track Girl, Party Girls, I would have never known it was me. But when they said Church Girl, because I'm in the church. I'm in the church. I love the church girl. Now, what are you saying about church girls? See, she did that. Jump on church girl, and if you've been complimenting church girls, that would have been fine. But if you're gonna call church girls fox, that hole over there, calling church girls holes. I imagine that there's some holes in the church, but there ain't enough of them for all the church girls to be called holes.
Lord, Lord.
And we don't need anybody trying to glorify it and sing about it and market it to our girls. There's no problem about that. We need her help destroying the church.
Wow.
I don't know why all bishops aren't speaking up. I don't know why all pastors aren't speaking up. Preachers, bishops, supervisors, district missionaries, mothers, fathers, all who name the name of Christ. She needs prayer.
It's the reach for me. It's the reach for me. What are y'all thoughts on this?
Man, that shit was fucking crazy. Like, the more and more I listen to the shit, I hear the hypocrisy in his words.
Yes.
You know, it's like, first of all, you couldn't have heard the song for you to come off like you did. Like, so we'll get into the lyrics another time. But what he was saying is Beyonce was basically slutting out the church girl. That's not what she did in the song at all.
Not at all.
Like, I didn't understand that. And then the hypocrisy of it was he turned around and said, "There's some holes in this church." So if she was talking about y'all, it shouldn't matter because y'all are church girls. You should have applauded the song if you was gonna come that way.
And let's just keep it one. The church girls be the biggest sluts.
It don't be the church girls, it be the church girls that have business in the church. It'd be like the church girls that's a part of the fucking the choir. It's the church girls that are the pastor and deacon's daughters. It's the church girls that are a part of like the what's that crew? The usher board. It be them bitches be hoes.
Straight up.
And I'm only saying this from experience. I've met a lot of whole bitches in the church.
Right.
And a lot of them niggas have positions in the church, which fucked me up even more. Like, this motherfucker a whore. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, back in the time, I knew a chick that liked to stick fucking action figure legs in her pussy. This bitch was a part of the goddamn pantry in the church. I was just like, what the fuck?
Whoa. Whoa.
Like, man, this bitch on some weird shit. This bitch was on some weird shit. I did some weird shit with this bitch.
Wow. Wow. Action figures?
Yeah, like I don't know if it was a Hercules leg or whatever leg, but like this is like she was weird. Like she didn't like vibrators, but she wanted
Mattel.
Little bit like a little bigger than a finger, but not a dick. Like that's what she wanted. Like that's what got her like open, and then you could fuck her.
Wow. I'm
sorry, y'all. That was vulgar. That was
yeah, that is a church girl for you.
Yeah. And she legit told me she started doing that shit when she was like 10 years old. Like this is something she been doing.
Lord have mercy. Talk about somebody that need prayer. But yeah, I mean,
gave you a plate and gave your kids a sack lunch.
But I just feel like had he listened to the song at all prior to, he wouldn't have known. He
wouldn't talk about the pantry bitch.
Right. Bree, do you have any thoughts about this?
No. That man is old. I don't. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna get into all of it because it's a lot. But I don't know. I can't say I don't have no thoughts.
And
I'm not
and this is the crazy part about it because he's absolutely right. Had she just named the song "Girl," he wouldn't have never known the song. But because it had the word church in it, he decided to make a whole sermon about it. But I just feel like this was this was what he wanted. He wanted to go viral. He wanted to be famous. And he knew going after Beyonce would get him there. Well, congratulations. You got it.
I don't know. The devil was a choir director, so I feel like they all don't like none of the music nobody put out. So I can't say.
I don't know. I just thought it was just ridiculous.
You can say that, but it's also people that took Beyonce songs and turned them into church songs, and it's also people that took like twerk music and turned it into fucking church songs. So like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. I don't have no opinion on it because, I mean,
yeah, and then like also she sampled a church song. It was a Clark Sister song that she sampled in that song. But a lot of R&B comes from gospel music. So there's a lot of people that sing secular music that started in the church. Beyonce is not unique to that. So yeah. Are you gonna come after Whitney Houston? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, he didn't talk about Whitney. If he didn't talk about Beyonce, he talked about her too.
I mean, I don't know.
Sure. I can't say, but I would bet, and I'm not a gambling woman, but I bet a little money that he didn't talk about her too. I don't think he's just singling her out. I just think that, you know, it is what it is. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. But I just thought it was ridiculous. And I just think he wanted a moment. Well, you got it. You got it, sir.
Is he known for wanting moments though, or?
I don't know. I don't know.
That's the thing, and you know the trickery about that shit is that's one thing that I really will say about some of these pastors I don't trust. I think they get influenced by a different power, you know. Especially when you're a pastor and you hold that type of power, it's a lot of temptation that comes in your life. And I think this pastor, he was bit by the bug of acknowledgement, and you know, that's what he wanted. He wanted to be acknowledged, and so he brought this sermon out about the song being secondary and being called church girl. So he had his moment, you know, and you know that's because he got bit by that temptation.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he ain't a good pastor. I'm saying at that moment, because like Bree, like you said, like he's older, he done been there, done that. Like, but sometimes you just fall victim to certain things.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, there's a lot of preachers that, you know, are very charismatic, you know, like to be in front of crowds speaking, want to be famous. They probably look up to some of the famous preachers and whatnot, you know, some of these mega churches and what have you. So maybe they're looking at it as a marketing ploy. You know, whatever the case may be, sir, you're wrong. And had you did a little bit of research, you wouldn't have jumped off the porch like that. But
Everything he said was it was hypocritical because like you made it a song about hoes and then you acknowledge the hoes in the church. Like who does that?
Right. Talking about, yeah, it's some in here, but not enough to make a song about it.
Evidently it is, nigga, because the song is made.
I mean, maybe.
And that's where he blew it too when he got the. That's where he blew it too. If he would have kept just a straight message, I could have understood. But him saying it's something in here and all that old, you know, that's where it got blown.
Yeah,
that's some weak ass shit. Like, yeah, there's some hoes in this bitch, but it's not enough hoes in this bitch to say it's a hoe house. Yeah, it's a hoe house, nigga.
I mean, damn. I mean, like, what's the cutoff number? Like, what?
Yeah, like nigga, it's a hoe house. I don't give a fuck if it's one hoe in this bitch. It's a hoe house.
It's some
I
whole
don't know.
shit
That's
going
where
on.
he just shouldn't have said that part. I kind of would have been like, okay, he's elderly. He's just basically saying the song's blasphemous, which I could see that. But once he got to getting into descriptions and all that, that's when it, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, but and the song, I honestly don't even feel like the song is even blasphemous. That's what I'm saying. Like, if he would have just took a couple of minutes, listened to it, pulled up the lyrics, he wouldn't have jumped off the porch like that. But in the same breath, he could have listened to it. He could have read the lyrics and still was like, fuck it, I'm gonna jump off the porch because it's going to make me viral. It's going to get eyes on me. I'm going to get famous off of this. Because you go after Beyonce, you're automatically going viral. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Where is he from?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I know the next reverend. Where he from?
Oh, bring you is a motherfucking dick.
Where is he from? Let's get on this nigga here, y'all. Let's leave that old man alone. Let's get on this young bull.
Yeah. We done with the Kojic pastor. I don't know where he's from, but yeah. So yeah. The next pastor is actually a 3-part story. Which we're probably gonna spend a couple of minutes on because we're kind of a little close to it. The next pastor that obviously is part of the Pastors Gone Wild evening tonight is Pastor Carlton Funderburke.
That's his real name, ladies and gentlemen. It's no.
That is his real name. I know some
Lord,
people were out here saying excuse me. There were some people out here questioning if that was his real name. Like, because this situation went super viral. Even the Young Turks was talking about it, and they were questioning it on their show. But it is, in fact, his real name. Anybody that has been listening to us for a while know that we are born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri. This situation happened in Kansas City, Missouri. And Reverend Overseer, I don't know what he's being called today, but the pastor of Church of the Well, name is Carlton Funderburke, and he had a sermon that took place on August 7th that went viral this week. And
for all the wrong reasons.
For extreme wrong reasons. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen and play the clip that went viral. Let's see.
This is where my conversation gets dark, ladies and gentlemen.
I think everybody's gonna take a little time.
Yeah. Worth your McDonald's money?
Lord.
I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how.
Ooh.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
Yes, Lord.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
Preach.
I ain't worth your St. John knit. Y'all can't afford it no how. I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci.
Come on, Pastor. Preach that shit.
Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it's not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch.
Yes, Lord. Yes. Yes. Fucking fake ass.
This man, I'm going to go first. This man blew it. What's his name? Funderburke.
Yeah, we can say it just like that. Funderburke.
I don't know how to say it. He blew it. He blew it. That's when I would have cussed in the church. I'd have stood up and said, what the entire fuck is going on? Especially don't let me have been a visitor. I can't believe he said that. I mean, he's a blunt. If he's going to steal from the church or whatever it is he called himself doing, getting money from the church, at least he's telling them what he's going to spend it on. It ain't going to the building fund. But it's people like that make a lot of people don't go to church. That's not really a good enough excuse for a lot of people not to go. But if you've been hurt by one of them type of pastors, I can definitely understand why you would be leery into wanting to go and put yourself back up to that. But you're not going for the pastor, you're going for him to give you a word, you're going to fellowship, praise the Lord and all that. But at the same time, if you're gonna be around some fake shit like that, that'll put a bad taste in anybody's mouth. I hate he did that. I do feel like, my opinion, like Lily said, does not display nothing on the Ish We Talk or him or Lindsay. It's just my opinion. I feel like he's playing a deadly game with somebody I wouldn't want to be playing with the Lord. I don't play with God. So, I don't I can't believe that. I'm glad it was on tape because if somebody would have told me, I probably would have thought they was lying. The Movado at Sam's Club.
You feel me? This is my thing. Hold on.
No, I was just gonna say the thing with them is that they do record their sermons every week on their Facebook page, but you can't find this sermon anymore. They took it down.
Absolutely, they better.
And it was part of a series. Yeah, I'll reserve my comments for the end.
All right, I'll say this. My opinions are just my opinions. It doesn't reflect the views or opinions of the Ish We Talk or my partners in the Ish We Talk. As I say this, I will say this. Dudes like him are the reason why it is hard for God's flock to find a shepherd. You have all these flawed individuals that are supposed to give you the guidance to go on a better path. Excuse me, just for my religious people. Like, because I don't never want to downplay y'all. My mother was religious. But there's certain things that turn me off about religion. One is, as we see this pastors doing this type of bullshit right here with calling this flock broke, telling them what he's not good enough for, like they have to somehow manage this nigga on top of managing a life, on top of giving tithes and offerings. The fact that a nigga is so what's the word I'm looking for? Pretentious to even be this type of dude, he has nothing to do with what you're going to church for. He's not godly at all. This is not a godly guy. This nigga is fully working with the wrong side of the fucking team because he's full of vanity and that's some bullshit. And we got these pastors that are scammers and live off the church because they really don't believe like they think their flock's supposed to. And these are the so-called gatekeepers to heaven. This is the weirdest shit in the world to me. I don't understand niggas like him. I don't understand niggas like him because your outside of this is flawed. We ain't even gonna get on this right now, but your outside of this is flawed. And then this is, you're gonna change the name of your church again because this ain't the first time you done stepped off the fucking bridge on some bullshit, and every time you do it, you change the name of your church. You're a flawed nigga, my brother. I don't give a fuck what's going on in your church that seems good. You're flawed, and you're leading these people down the wrong way. That's why I know a lot of motherfuckers don't fuck with church no more because of niggas like this. I remember when I was going on my religious journey, I stopped fucking with one church that was down north because the deacon said he's gonna give $100 in the offerings, and you motherfuckers, if y'all don't match me, he didn't say motherfuckers, but I'm saying like, if y'all don't match me, then y'all don't really love the church.
He almost said it.
Yeah. So I watched this nigga bait motherfuckers that didn't have 100 to do To spend that day, spend $100. I said that shit fair. I told the couple I was with, because it was their church. I said, I think your church is foul for that.
Yeah. It's kind of ironic. Like the irony is definitely not lost on me. Why this week is the week that this clip went viral. It was not a coincidence. You're not gonna go get me to believe that it was a coincidence because of a story that we're gonna touch on next. But dealing with this story in particular, I'm not gonna lie. I was debating back and forth all week on doing this story because I'm familiar with this pastor. I'm not going to say that I know him. I don't know him, but I'm familiar with him. Who I actually know is his mother. And his mother was part of my life. Was part of my life as a child and an adolescent growing up. So I would be around him probably like a couple times a year or what have you. So and his mother and me are Facebook friends to this day. I don't know what's gonna happen after today though, but
I think you're gonna have to make sure you stay strapped even in the club.
right. So if you haven't caught on already, I grew up in the church. His mother was the choir director at the church, and I was in the choir. And she was the youth choir director. She was it for many years. Far as I know, she still is. But I haven't been to that church on a Sunday in God knows how long. But she was an employee, so technically, she went to another church. So that's the reason why her kids didn't go to our church. Hold on, 2 seconds.
Let's got to take a quick smoke break. Let's just remind everybody that, hey, free pussy ain't always good pussy. You need to find out what you like, what you deal with, who you involved with, and keep yourself safe. Sometimes that one good DM will put you in a bad situation.
Wow.
Back to the story.
Right. So yeah, I would probably be around her kids probably like once or twice a year. So yeah, that doesn't constitute as me knowing him or anything like that. However, I am familiar with him and I am kind of familiar with his church. I've never visited, but it's a lot going on. It's a lot of scutterbutt going on about him and the parishioners of the church. So seeing a video like this, excuse me, I'm not surprised. At all. Not surprised. But it was very disgusting to see. You know what I'm saying? And like I was just like, maybe we're taking it out of context because you know how people can, take a clip of a big picture and the context is extremely needed, and I was just like, maybe we're taking it out of context. Being that it was a part of a series, I forgot the details on the series, but excuse me, I think the answer is yes and no in regards to the context. But in the same breath, I mean, there is no like this was terrible. I mean, it was terrible. It was just terrible. You can't take nothing out of context when he's saying specifically, I asked for a Movado watch. They sell them at Sam's. I asked for that last year and I ain't got it yet. Who are you asking that for? And what does that have to do with the church? You know what I'm saying? Like, asking for a Movado watch has nothing to do with the church at all. Like, but you know, people gift pastors all the time. You know what I'm saying? Whether they ask for it or not. You know, so maybe he just got too comfortable with his congregation and just start asking for shit. I don't know. But
whenever he addressed it, he needed to talk to his broke church members. Then
right.
you already know you already know what type of mental this nigga's on.
Right. Like it was just totally disgusting to watch. I know if I knew him, was related to him or anything like that, I would be embarrassed, you know. Like
Absolutely.
what, like how can you berate your congregation, even if, because the way I was thinking, like, okay, maybe we took it out of context, was maybe the context was that he was talking about how you're supposed to tithe and stuff like that, and people are coming at him with all kinds of excuses on how they can't tithe or can't tithe the amount, but in the same breath he's watching them do all kinds of stuff. So that was the way I was like, okay, maybe we're taking it out of context because this is the way that he's mentioning it.
Mm-hmm.
But in the same
and
breath,
that would have been
right, and maybe and what I'm saying is maybe that was said in another part of the sermon, we just didn't see it. But the whole Movado watch thing kind of debunks that.
Yeah, because that's what I'm calling. If he'd have said that in the previous one and then said this shit is still uncalled for.
Yeah, you're right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was just, and then like on top of that, like we go viral for the worst shit. How come we cannot go viral for some positive shit in the town? You know what I'm saying? Like this was horrible. You know what I mean? Like I had people contacting me talking about, is this real? I'm like, yes, it is 1000% real. So yeah. Yeah. So also after it went stupid viral, because like it went so viral, he got donkey the other day. He was on the Young Turks. Everybody's been talking about this. This has been a horrible display of publicity. He did issue
apologize. Like,
yeah, he did issue an apology. He did issue an apology. I do have the apology as well, so I'm going to share my screen again to pull up the apology. So give me 2 seconds.
I want to take this moment to address the now viral video clip of me from a sermon given August the 7th, 2022. Though there is context behind the content of the clip, no context will suffice to explain the hurt, anguish caused by my words. I've spoken to those I am accountable to and have received their correction and instruction. I have also privately apologized to our church, who has extended their love and support to me. I'm privileged to do life with them. The video clip does not reflect my heart or my sentiments toward God's people, yet that's not discernible in the clip. Therefore, I offer this sincere apology to you today. No context could erase the words I used. I apologize to all who have been hurt, angered, or in any way damaged by my words. The zeal of any presentation must be tempered with love and respect, and that was not displayed. I apologize to the church at large for any undue scrutiny I have subjected you to. I apologize to every preacher and pastor who must stand up under the controversy that I have caused. To those who know and love me, Thank you for your support. To those who now know me, because of this video clip, I regret that your first impression of me is one of anger, hate, and resentment. My actions and my words are inexcusable. I offer no justification or defense. That moment was mishandled and mismanaged. I deeply regret this moment, and I solicit your prayers and your forgiveness as we grow forward. Thank you. God bless you. Go with God, and He'll go with you. Good evening. My name is Carlton Funderburke. I'm the senior pastor of Church of the Well right here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Just fucked us out right here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Right here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Well,
Fucking Funderburke.
apology. Not to. I'm sorry, lady.
Yeah.
No, you nah.
I'm gonna say this because it's said in the Bible. You supposed to. How many times are we supposed to give people 7 times 7? No, 77 times 7. So I forgive him. Bible, you ain't got either. So now that I know that your church has to buy you a Movado, it was your birthday or whenever it was for, you blew it. I think he need to just go ahead and, what do pastors normally do outside of work? He need to find another. This wasn't his calling. It wasn't for him. It wasn't on him. He wasn't anointed.
Nigga, so you saying that nigga need to just go ahead on the real estate?
The thing, like, how much stuff have they bought him?
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
They done for going.
All I
Yeah,
tell
they
you
was
is,
agreeing.
This man got a Bentley. Y'all got to go in the outhouse to use the bathroom.
you know,
You know.
I just want to say like okay. I'm trying to be fair because you two actually went to church and I didn't. So I have a certain way. I don't think it's a bias, but I didn't go to church until I was like grown and trying to find a religious path. So I just have disdains for a lot of religious practices, not religion, but religious practices. So I'm trying to word it right, but I really do want to say like, sucker ass niggas like this is the reason why people have a hard time finding a church home.
Yeah.
Because don't nobody need to be bombarded with a bunch of whole cake ass shit that niggas like this is doing. Like, you already get a salary. Why?
Yeah.
Who do you think you is? Why I gotta constantly bear gifts to you? Like, that's why I don't understand this gatekeeper type of mentality. Like, you gotta do me good because I'm the way that you get to heaven. No, I'm not the way. I'm actually just a fucking navigator to the path. I'm not the gateway. I don't understand these type of niggas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the flawed niggas. Like they want to be the gateway, but they flawed as fuck. How you gonna be the gateway to heaven when you doing a bunch of flawed ass shit?
Yeah, you're not like, and for you to be doing a bunch of flawed ass shit, that just proves that you're not anointed. You know what I'm saying? And you should not be the leader of a flock.
He shouldn't have did it.
Yeah.
Dangerous. Because whether people want to be like, oh, you believe in something, we don't know what's going to happen when we die. That's altogether true. You know what I mean? I don't push nothing on nobody. I state what I like, what I feel, but, he was wrong. And I just pray, that whoever he prayed to, forgive him.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, right. I know a lot of people was complaining about his apology being written down. Um, I don't necessarily feel that way about written down apologies. I just think that like when you write down an apology, maybe you're on, hey, there's some things I want to say. I don't want to miss anything, so I need to write things down because I might forget. You know, I want to really think. I want to really put some thought into this apology. So
There's
I
nothing
don't
wrong.
think.
But it
Yeah.
wasn't no thought in that apology.
I mean, it sounded good. I just don't believe it. That's all. It's thought in it,
Right,
Lily.
right.
You just don't believe
You
it.
know,
That's why.
I was just saying because like when reading the comments, a lot of people was like coming at it as I don't believe it because he wrote it down. And I'm like, no, that ain't a reason not to believe it because he wrote it down. There may be that may be because there were some bullet points that a person want to get that doesn't take away the sincerity. I just don't. I feel like apology coming from him in this instance it's only because of how super viral it went. Like if it didn't, like if it would have just stayed local, it wouldn't have been no apology. If it would have been a little bit viral, it wouldn't have been no apology. But they are literally talking about this situation on Fox. Like this went everywhere. He had to say something.
And this is my thing. This is how you know, like how y'all put it. Somebody's not anointed. Because if he was an anointed person, and like you said, that was a segment of like a fucking series. If he would have said some shit that would correlate to that to make that make sense, then that apology would have been way realer than that. Like I just think the apology was a filler because you totally was on some bullshit. Like you jumped off the ladder, like, but you've been doing this. It's just the first time you got really gone viral. You've been like humiliating and talking to your fucking flock that way.
Yeah. Right.
You know, that's the thing. Because if he was really on some other shit, like somebody that I think that would be anointed, they'll be like, okay, I'm sorry for how you felt about this, but get into the real thing I was saying. And they would still have an apology, but their apology would be, I apologize for you feeling this way, but won't you listen to the whole thing first?
Right. And that's what I was thinking too, because I feel like the apology further let me know that this wasn't taken out of context.
Exactly.
Because I feel the same. I feel the same way. He would have gave more of an explanation in his apology as to why he was saying it that way or why he was using that type of metaphor to put forth his point. But he did not do that. He just mentioned that it may have been taken out of context. You know, so yeah. So that just further let me know, like, you know, this is what he's doing over there. You know what I'm saying? So, and those people are following him. Now, we can go down a rabbit hole about the church. Yeah.
We ain't got to.
I
What
don't
we can do is we can tumble ball into the meat and potatoes of this whole corrupt ass preacher movement and get into the last dude who did the worst.
Yeah. Yeah. So with the last preacher gone wild story that we got tonight, it ties into the last story. There's a preacher here that back in January of 2018, he was arrested for killing his wife, and he was a pastor under Pastor Funderburke. So when that happened or whatever, Pastor Funderburke was going on a press junket to the point where the lady that was murdered, her family contacted him and asked him to stop talking to the media about this. You are not a representative of the family, and just let us mourn in peace. Stop doing it. Just stop doing this press run. And with that situation, a lot of skeletons came out about the church. But fast forward to August of 2022, we have the trial. And as of today, the man was convicted of murder. So,
Yeah, murder in the first degree.
Yep.
Plus domestic violence.
So, huh?
He got murder in the first degree plus domestic violence.
Yeah. Now, was this a federal charge?
I don't know if it's a federal charge. He's not sentenced. He won't be sentenced to November 3rd.
Okay. The reason why I'm asking if it's a federal charge is because the pastor and his wife lived in Overland Park, Kansas, and the body was found in, I want to say, Belton, Missouri. And if anybody knows anything about Kansas City, the greater Kansas City area consists of Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas. The metro has those two cities along with the suburbs. So Overland Park is a suburb, Belton is a suburb. So yeah, so that's the reason why I was asking on if it's a federal, because it crossed state line. But
yeah, I don't know if it'll have to be Clay County to try to bring it up on federal charges then, because I think that's where Belton is Cass. It's Cass County.
Yeah, because Clay up north. Yeah, but yeah, from what I understand is that he killed her in Kansas and then took the body to Missouri. So yeah, it's unfortunate that the family has to relive this again, but they do have justice. That doesn't bring back their loved one, unfortunately, but yeah. So yeah, that is as far as I'm gonna go as in regards to this. So
Rita, you want to go?
Yeah.
Man, so who was he, the deacon at the church?
No, he was a pastor.
But he was cool with Funderburke or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he was right up under him. He was right up under that nigga.
Oh, he was junior. He's junior pastor. I just want to say anybody that's listening that's not from Kansas City, because it could be this. Don't let these people mislead y'all. This foolishness is not tolerated here. It is some good churches. Everybody don't want their church to buy them watches and or murderers. That's not.
And I will say this. I will say this. Because a lot of people have that have commented on it have picked up on something. And which I have picked up on is what we thought as well. And that's all I'm gonna say about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna say it. It seems like to me, Funderburke, the trial's coming up, so he needed to be viral so he can be brought up back in this trial. But this is how retarded he is. Why would you want your name attached to that?
That ain't what I'm talking about, but yeah.
That's how I feel.
No, I feel you, Bree. And I'm gonna piggyback off you and say this. Since we're bringing all this, we're melding this together. Listen, the nigga killed his wife because his wife was gonna let everybody know he be sucking dick. Like, I know y'all don't want to hear this about the pastors, but I'm gonna say it. She was gonna tell everybody that this nigga was sucking dick, and he killed her. I mean, yeah, exactly. He killed her. And the crazy part about it is, the nigga Funderdick, whatever the fuck that nigga's real name is, was fucking this nigga too. Yeah, it gets real, y'all. And I want to be politically correct and say allegedly, but at the same time, it's been too many people that know about this shit and said it and been saying it.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's not from Kansas City, there are churches that you can go to. These two individuals do not set the precedent for our city. Go ahead, Lee.
They do not. But these two niggas have a coalition of niggas that do the same thing they do. Lie, play beards, have kids, barely fuck their wives, and be dog the shit fucking out of dudes. Now I have no ill will about gay people. Bisexual, trisexual, trans, queer, lesbian, all that. I have no quarrel with you. What I do have a quarrel with is these niggas who be faking like they're heterosexual and be doing the most god-obvious gay shit.
Oops, I didn't mean to laugh. Because
no, basically you're talking about DL people, and yeah, like yeah, the DL community is no, that's not how we're trying to live
and
our
see,
lives.
y'all didn't make it on the on the thing. It is an L, but it don't say for low. It don't stand for that. It's do stand for lesbian. So apparently the community ain't with the DL either, because I don't agree with that. That's not cool. That's playing a dangerous game.
Exactly.
And you know, it's 2022. Living your truth. Like there's no reason for anyone to be DL. You know what I'm saying? Like living your truth. But in the same breath, when you in the church, there are people that are very judgmental and don't want people that are outwardly gay to hold positions and stuff. So maybe they feel like they cannot live in their truth. You know. But just gonna fuck it. You just go on ahead and say it. Like allegedly, like that's the church. The church ain't nothing but a bunch of DL men in beards.
See, and I ain't never even heard of the church nor the pastor. I heard about the killing, unfortunately, because you know it was on the news and everything. But as far as the church, the pastor, I knew nothing about this. This is my first time hearing it. So
that's the word on the street, you know. And
the church,
yeah, huh?
What's the name of the church?
It
Church
was
of the
called
Well.
the Church of the Well, but he might change it because he's changed it before. Every time, this is what I found out. Every time he get into controversy on some shit, that nigga changed the name of his church.
See, I ain't. Again, anybody that wants to visit, and y'all here on a Sunday, it's churches you can go to besides Church of the Well.
Oh yeah, it's a bunch of. Listen, I'm gonna shout out one that I know's real. Know what I'm saying? Real dope. Like not on no extra, but but it really be they really be trying to like lead the flock. Mount Vernon.
And I'm gonna go ahead and shout out my church, House of Prayer, over in Kansas, off Quindaro. I can't think of the name of the exact address, but yeah, we pretty good there too. This ain't going on. If it is, y'all, I'm gonna be shocked, but I seriously doubt it because we fear God there. But I'm not knocking anybody. You know what I mean? I'm talking about myself. But that right there, that's below the belt. I've never heard of any of this foolishness as far as it's a bearded church, because that's what it is. We need to just name it Church of the Beards, Lady of the Beards, Saint Beards Baptist Church.
You know,
what book of the Bible?
This is my thing. I just feel like, you know, everybody has a belief in God. You know, we can clear that air now. Everybody has a belief in God. At the same time that you believe in God, you should always live in your truth and your belief in God. So why try to infiltrate a church that don't agree with your way or your way of living? Like, I don't think it would be, and I hate to sound like I guess one of those niggas that try to segregate or whatever, but I'm not trying to segregate. I just think if a church said that they were willing for somebody of this caliber to be in there, then that's where you need to be. You don't need to start a church where you're living a lie.
But see, that's what people fail to realize. It be all kind of people in the church. I done went to church and seen some people that I know, if they wasn't delivered like Andrew Caldwell, then they still probably doing what they doing. But ain't nobody about to sit here and be like, well, we know you're taking men home. You need to go and get baptized. Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's not, this ain't that. We trying to get you to, you know, if the spirit hits you to where you feel like you need to do that, then so be it. But is somebody gonna be throwing water down your throat to make you do it? Absolutely not. And that's where I think a lot of people get a lot of things confused. But it just sounds like to me, these dudes, I'm a gone, you know what I mean? You know, they just on some straight bullshit. It just sounds like they on some straight. They sound like they on the highway to hell to me. That's what it sounds like.
Like it's crazy because I don't get it. Like, how do you just have a church full of DL men and beards? Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, where do you go recruit them? Like, I'm so confused. But allegedly that's what that is.
Why can't you have a church full of just gay people that acknowledge they gay?
It is churches like that. Right. It is churches that is the whole congregation is gay. You know what I mean? I have seen that on TV. I've seen it. I don't get it. I don't understand why this man is doing. That's what I'm saying. It's an intricate plot to it. It got money involved. It's greed. It's all the sins. They on their way.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. But Derek says, Derek says, Church of the 100, come join me. LOL. Just kidding. And then he also said, then they not true from jump. Church is supposed to be about truth, but I'ma just mind my biz. Yeah, church is supposed to be about truth, but you got a whole bunch of liars and in the pulpit and not living in their truth. And that's not just that church, just period.
That church, we did 4 pastors on here that literally was on bullshit all week. They literally was pastors gone wild. Like, that needs to be a DVD that comes on at 3 in the morning.
Man.
Okay, you heard it here first. I coined it. I need my coin. But
this is ridiculous. Like this, and it's all aspects of the United States too. It ain't just Kansas City.
Right. But shit, Funderburke make it seem like we started that gangster shit, and no, ma'am.
I ain't never. This is the cold part about it. I've never even seen him before.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have seen. I wouldn't have. I don't. If I have, I don't remember. But I probably haven't. I guarantee that name alone, I'd have missed that dumb shit. So Funderburke.
Yeah, Funderburke. But yeah, he wasn't nothing to write home about.
I mean, yeah, of course. This nigga look like the real Temptation, the real Otis, not the Leon version.
Right.
And he young as hell. He ain't man. I hope what's going on, and that ain't what the word on the curb ain't the truth, because that's horrible if that's what happened. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, I'm from the street, so I gotta believe the word on the curb, man. That shit.
I heard it. It's all news to me. It's really jacking me up. You know what I mean? That's horrible.
And that's the crazy part about it, because he didn't want that information to get out about him. And guess what happened? Him killing his wife got that information out there about him. Yep, and got that information about all of them. I grew up with his mother again. I only saw him like 2 times a year. So I don't know him. But
are they older than or
He's a couple of years older than me. His sister's probably like 1 or 2 years younger than me.
Okay. So age group kinda.
Yeah. So so I'm not gonna sit up here and be like, oh, I know him, I've been in his church, all that type of stuff. No, I know his mother. But I mean, there was scuttlebutt about him. There was scuttlebutt about that church. I didn't care too much because it wasn't like I was gonna go visit. But when all this shit came out with that pastor, and then he went on a press junket, it was like he wanted to be famous. You know what I'm saying? Because why are you speaking out? Especially when you're going against her family, because her family told you that they didn't want you speaking out. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was being an opportunity. So then all the doors blew open on what was going on at that church. And they were, and people were
I do remember. Wait a minute, y'all. Did this happen in like 15, 16, 14, something like that?
18.
Okay.
18.
I do remember hearing about it, but it was so outrageous and outlandish and egregious that I said that ain't true. And you know how sometimes you have to do yourself like that, like So I just let it roll past my head, like nah. But apparently, because I heard it, because I remember, because they were saying how she didn't want he didn't want it to get out, and he killed her, and it came out anyway.
Right.
And they was saying was messing with the pastor, and this is the pastor. So once again, counters, please don't let this discredit that we are not. I think my whole city ain't with this. We all discussed.
Nah, ain't nobody with this shit at all. Like, before we even go further, I want to say, rest in peace to Mrs. Harris. You know,
absolutely.
When it's all said and done, man, like this type of hiding and being on a down low and trying to be discreet cost a young woman her life.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Right. It's a game. It's nothing that, it's not acceptable. If it's not acceptable in the gay community, then it's not acceptable. It's, you know what I mean? Because that's a dangerous game.
It's a very dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game. I remember when that book came out on the down low back in like 2004, I want to say. I bought the book and I read it. And that shit was crazy. Like that man, he basically broke it down. And he said that because the problem was that there was a lot of African American women that were coming up with HIV and AIDS. And they're getting them from their mates, but they thought they were in monogamous relationships up until that point. And this man was saying that's because these men are on the down low. And the thing is that they're not accepting the fact that they love to have sex with men. And they're not accepting the fact that they're going to have sex with men. So because they're not accepting that fact, they're not being responsible. They're not going to buy condoms because that's admitting that they're going to have sex with men.
And that's
putting people in danger.
And then they went wives and mother their children and all that.
Exactly. So yeah. I mean, it was when I tell you that book will have you sew your knees shut. That shit was scary.
I remember that book. I remember it.
Yeah, that shit was hella scary. You know what I'm saying?
Make you look twice.
Huh?
It made you look at people twice, like,
Yeah.
Because in 2004, it wasn't like it is in 2022. We just gonna be crystal clear about that, and whoever know. So that's just all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So, that book had a lot of people like.
It had a lot of people fucked up, and he went on Oprah too. Like that shit was scary, man.
Yeah, if Oprah questioned about it, it was real. It wasn't. It was taboo. Now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah. Do y'all have anything else to say about this?
Nah, I'm tired of this bitch ass nigga, and I finally said it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I always be saying, man, I come from a truthful place, man. I don't be saying shit to just be like trying to aggravate nobody or get under their skin about pastors. And some of these niggas is bitch ass niggas, man. It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and it's sad, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I just pray for better days, you know, just leave it at that, you know. Cuz it's sad and disappointing that all that is going on. But yeah, he got convicted today. So, yeah. So, now on to our segment of the fucked up song of the week. Now, we're gonna do something a little different this week. The song is not fucked up. So it's the not so fucked up song of the week. It is Beyonce. It's Church Girl. I figured it would be appropriate for what we have been talking about, especially because we talked about Church Girl. So who wants to read it? Did we figure out who's gonna read it?
It's either you or Bree. I'm not reading Church Girl.
Bree, you're on mute. I don't know if you're saying anything.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, but I may not be able to read those. I'm not gonna be able to. I'm sorry.
Okay. I will read it. So the intro. Lord make me, Lord place me. Ooh, 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 I wanna be centered. Ooh, ooh, I wanna be centered. Ooh, ooh, I wanna be centered. In thy will. That's the sample that's used. So verse 1, I've been up, I've been down. I felt like I moved mountains. Got friends that cried fountains. Oh, I'm warning everybody. Soon as I get to this party, I'm gonna let go of this body. I'm gonna love on me. Nobody can judge me but me. I was born free. The chorus. I'll drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty. I said, now pop it like a thotty. Pop it like a thotty. You bad. Me say now, drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty. Church girls acting loose. Bad girls acting snotty. Let it go, girl. Let it out, girl. Twirl that ass like you came up out the South, girl. I said, now drop it like a thotty. Drop it like a thotty. Bad girls acting like church girl. Don't hurt nobody. You can be a daddy if you want to. You can be my daddy if you want to. You could get it tatted if you want to. You could get it tatted if you want to. Put your fingers in the sky. Get this motherfucker litty. She gonna shake it. She gonna shake that ass and them pretty tiggle bitties. So get them racks up. Work. Get your math up. I'ma back it up. Back it up. I'ma bust it, acting up. I see them gray sweats. I see a blank check. I'm finally on the other side. I finally found the urge to smile. Swimming through the ocean of tears we cried. You know, we got church in the morning, but you doing God's work, you going in. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. She just trying to do the best she can. Happy on her own, with her friends, without a man. I'm warning everybody, soon as I get to this party, I'm going to let go of this body. I'm going to love on me. Nobody can judge me but me. I was born free. And then the chorus again, and then the outro. Must be the cash because it ain't your face. It must be the cash because it ain't your face. Now do it, baby, stick it, baby, do it, baby, stick it, baby, do it, baby, spin it. Now spin it, baby, do it. Now spin that cash now spin that cash a little harder, and she might let you dive in the water. Drop it like a thotty, drop it like a thotty. Now, drop it like a thotty, drop it like a thotty. Oh, drop it like a thotty, drop it like a thotty. Good girls acting bad, church girls don't hurt nobody. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. Trying to bring the life up in this body. And that is Church Girl. Thoughts?
Don't want to go first? Nobody want to go first? All right, fuck.
I don't. Yeah.
Again, it's I don't think we take the time to realize that Beyonce is a mother. She's a wife, and she created a song for you to let your hair down.
Basically.
And nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't none of that in the song. Like, I know it was a lyric that, like, you know, if he spent a couple dollars, you might fuck him. Like, basically, that's what she's. But that's for the young single girls. Like, they got it. They understood. The whole song is about letting your hair down. Like, this is what I'm gonna do for the night. Can't nobody tell you what you can't do. Excuse me.
Right. Like, ooh, chat. Like, you know, when you at work and you like, ooh, chat, I can't wait till 5 o'clock. I'm going to happy hour. I'm gonna just put my hair down, and that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the song was basically about. And it's fine to do that and go to church the next day. Like, that's okay.
It's very fine. Like, don't nobody care about you. You know what I'm saying? Dropping it low and kicking it with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And Derek.
So Derek says, you can read it.
Derek Jordan, hey Derek Jordan, said, well, from my experience in churches, she just telling what a lot of young girls are doing.
And there's nothing wrong with it.
I have seen people also says it's no difference from when the comedians say the freakiest girls are at the church. They be in the club on Saturday and sing in the choir on Sunday. I mean, I have seen people leave the club and basically go home, drink some coffee, brush their teeth. If they have to freshen up and change their clothes, they do that and still go to church. So yeah, like, and be at all the services to 2 or 3 o'clock and come home and go to bed. So I don't, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, and if you want to be real, I think pastors do it. Shit. If you want to be real, pastors do it.
I've seen that happen, and it didn't make that person wasn't necessarily a freak or nothing. You know, they just went out, kicked it hard, still went to church.
Yeah.
Some of the women.
I've seen that in the past and recently. Like, I know motherfuckers that go out, they have a great ass time. They get home at 3 o'clock, they sleep for 3 hours, they cold shower themselves, and they be right there putting them white gloves on before 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, when Jesus came here, he found all the bad people, liars, tax collectors, lawyers, thieves. He wasn't around all the saints at the church. He was in the trenches.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you know, I've already had this conversation of you don't even want to get me to talk about Jesus. Jesus that everybody loved was cool with a whore. So if you don't think he was hanging out at 3, 4 in the morning, you lying to your fucking self.
He wasn't even sleeping. That's how cold he was going. So he's up. That's funny. But you know, we're not gonna throw him in this because he's greater than all that. But at the same time, you know, you can't, it's just so much hypocrisy. I don't be knowing what to say half the time with nothing. Because shit. But I wonder this about Beyonce. This got all with her whole album. I wonder if she like, I'm never doing another album again, because she didn't have to go back and change lyrics. She getting ridiculed for some of her songs. Like, she's never had this much slack.
I don't think it's gonna stop her from doing that. What I think it's gonna do is stop her from trying to collaborate, because a lot of things she went through, she was trying to do collaborations, and she was giving niggas writers credit when these niggas was gonna get paid, but these niggas was in an uproar already because I guess it's Beyonce and she could make a song before you fucking hear it.
Yeah.
No, she getting a lot of being like, because a lot of people was like they wasn't feeling the album, and then a lot of people was like it's house music, and like if you ever seen Paris is Burning, or is it what is it?
Yeah. Pose.
Paris and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's Paris Burning, Pose, you
Mm.
know,
It's
Drag
that,
Race.
I mean,
It's house music.
yeah. So, but Drake put out a house music album too. It's not necessarily, I think, nothing gonna be coming of hip hop, but you know they on a different wave than us. Like somebody said, and I ain't trying to throw Drake's album over Beyonce. I know who we talking about, but I had to say this. Somebody said Drake's album is for people that go on trips overseas and be on yachts, and that might be the feel of that. You know what I mean? Like it's just the vibe of what you on, but it do kind of sound like that. I ain't trying to be funny. It do make you need to be increased, pumping your fist, but at the same time, you know, he got a lot of slack for his little house music album. I ain't never heard I didn't hear people in the Beehive say they didn't like this one for real. That's why I'm like,
But the thing the thing about that is that because it's house music, a lot of people just don't like house music. Like
right.
that's a very specific subgenre that
Yeah.
if you ain't feeling house music, yeah, you probably wouldn't like Drake's album or Beyonce's album, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? That is fine because it is a very specific niche. You know.
Yeah.
Derek says, in this generation and all these sensitive ass people who can't get past freedom of speech, hashtag fuck cancel culture, got to get back to just taking things at face value.
Yeah, you're 100% right. Because I was just about to say why everybody was, explaining the house music. Nigga, Snoop Dogg came out with a reggae album.
He did.
Right.
That didn't stop Snoop from making more fucking albums. And Snoop ain't near as famous as Beyonce.
How about Snoop came out with a reggae album? Snoop came out with a gospel album. Snoop came out with an R&B album. You know what I'm saying? Done all three. And he doesn't.
And
he
that
doesn't
hasn't
get
stopped him from
really
making an
into
album not one time. None of those album sales stopped him from making another album at no time.
Right.
He did.
Right, but he doesn't get nearly as much pushback.
Exactly, and he has nowhere near the backing that Beyonce has. Beyonce can come out with house music every fucking 6 months if she want to. It's not gonna stop.
I mean, people that's feeling it right now is showing you it ain't gonna stop. And her music's about to be played at all them balls and all that. That's the rap.
That's the soundtrack. That's the soundtrack for them balls right now. Yeah,
that's rap.
Like you can listen to that album and just pinpoint what part of the ball you're at. You know what I'm saying? Like that album is dope for what it is. You know what I'm saying? But if you're not into balls, if you're not into house music, yeah, you wouldn't like it. And like I said before, that's okay. But the hate is just like, damn, like she can't be creative and step outside the box.
I think
it cannot be.
I mean, technically, she's not even stepping outside the box. Just let her get her Deborah Cox on.
Yeah, her down in front, like, you know.
I think everybody was just waiting on like a little formation because of that being a minute, and she came out with that. Just like with Drake, even though he ain't made people wait as long as Beyonce, but they didn't think he was gonna, house album. They wouldn't.
Yeah, but she gets slack every time she puts out something. I remember that she was getting slack for 4. And I feel like 4 is like my favorite album from her. But people was mad at that album because they just said it was too R&B. And it's like, damn, really? Like, she can't win for losing. She really can't.
She got $100 million to wipe her motherfucking eyes with. She'll be just
Exactly.
Yeah, she's gonna be fine.
No sorry for her at all. Ain't no slack, bitch. You doing the right thing. Keep pushing it. She's still pushing them out because she, you know what I'm saying? I don't feel no sympathy when it come to nothing like that because her money.
Oh yeah, she's forever going to be paid, and as long as she continue to put out Ivy Park drops, she's gonna get all my money. So yeah, she'll never be broke.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the not so fucked up song of the week. Bree, did you have any final words?
I just really hate that all these pastors, and I'm gonna get a little bit, and I don't care, it might sound spiritual, biblical, whatever, but it say all this in the Bible. If you don't believe it, that's fine. I'm talking about me, what I've read, what I've seen. It says all this, and it been saying, and everybody say, oh, it's been coming, but you would just think now when it's something called monkey pox that could take you out the game physically, that you would just kind of try to have your ducks in a row. You wouldn't be on what these pastors was on this week. But, you know, people don't care. It's just showing you how much people don't care. So I just suggest everybody just pray for everybody. That's what I want to say, because it's sick out here.
Man.
Yeah. I I think that's a good note or a good thing to say. Just pray for all parties involved. Just pray for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, you said a lot, bro. I really like what you said. Yeah, everybody knows about
It was from the heart.
monkeypox, and I like how you letted that in.
I mean, that's real.
Yeah.
These people are tripping. I say we ain't got to go down no rabbit hole, but like
but these niggas is tripping, like you said.
Facts. So, what's Jerry's final thought?
Shit. Jerry's final thought basically is this: from our topics, we seen what we're going through, and we see how some people are truly out to scam folks. So I want all of us just to be aware, like, of what's going on and speak up when we need to speak up. Like, a lot of us, we got the fundamentals, but we really don't understand the teaching. Like, because in order to be a good leader, you have to be a great follower. And a lot of us has been following for a long time. It's time for a lot of us to step up and be leaders. And like, tell people that sometimes the shit you listen to is fucked up. And a lot of times these niggas be flawed. Like, we need to start addressing that more. So we can actually do better for ourselves for the future. As I talk to people all the time about, you know, I get you wanting to be better than what you've seen growing up, and you want to be better than your dad, and I get that because I lived through that too. But you also want to be better for the next generation. Like, you don't want them to continue to go through the same cycle we've been going through since the 60s. And the only way we're going to change that is if we start moving forward now. Like John Legend said, we're the generation that's always too late. Let's try to make a difference. And as always, take care of yourself and others.
Remember to get your pet sprayed and or neutered.
Yeah. So that was episode 56 of the Ish That We Talk. And we hope to see you next time for episode 57. Bye.
Exactly.